So I've always wanted to do like podcasts on stuff, like things that bother me, bother us. I love what Gogos Coutinho also does with the venting episode because, yeah, basically that's what we do most of the time these days. We just vent on away, right? So even as now, as I'm speaking, don't know if this is even going to go anywhere, but yeah. I am sitting on the bed, preparing to go to work. At the same time, I'm preparing to upload an introductory video of myself for another job opportunity, which might be better, looks much better than what I currently have. And yet, the crazy thing of it all is that, honestly, deep down, I would rather be doing this, right? Recording, and I just finished recording 2 of my poetry spoken word thingamabob. I still haven't really gotten around what I'd like to call them, but yeah. And that felt amazing. That felt amazing because that's my work. Felt amazing also because like it's what I actually enjoy doing. It's what I'd like to think I'm good at. Um and it just brings a sense of joy, even though I'm not getting anything for it yet, hopefully. But it's just so satisfying, you find, as opposed to getting ready for work and having to go to your traditional job and don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with a job. I have a problem with a job, basically. What am I even saying? But like, yo, I was having this conversation with my friend in the week, right? Where I think we're aligned in that sense. We're constantly feeling trapped when it comes to work. And on my end, it's more a thing of feeling confined and restricted and having to conform to all these rules and everything. I understand rules governs a lot of things and they put things into place, right? And I've done this before, like I've worked before, and there's people who've probably worked way more than I have. And yet I still don't feel that level of satisfaction as to when I'm doing something that I truly enjoy, like what I'm doing now, being expressive, listening to other people, giving advice, or just learning from other people, but in different ways than just being at work. Do you find? Like Himna, I feel like we don't, we're very limited in the sense that, in my own personal opinion, well, for me personally, I've always had this fear of, because I've always started working since the age of 19, I've always believed that I always have to be at work. I always have to have a job in order for me to be able to provide not only for myself, but for my family, for my daughter, to attend to my needs, just to be able to survive. And I feel like that's what really gets to me. I'm constantly trying to survive. And I'm not living. I'm forgetting to live in all of this. And I also get that in order to be able to live and yeah, get your best life, you have to have a way in order to provide for yourself, right? Like have money. I don't want that to be the focal point, although we know that it's a reality. Um, so yeah, we were talking about how we just we just can't, man. Like imagine, né? I'm getting paid now what I got paid when I was 21, right? And don't get me wrong. I totally understand that life has different phases and stages that we go through, right? And then yet again, we have to get to a point in our lives where we grow through what we go through. And I feel like the growth comes in different forms as well. So I was asking my friend how. So I was like, Mal, like, do you maybe think that maybe I'm just not grateful enough? Like, when do we determine being grateful enough? Like, I have a job now. I didn't have it a few months ago. I wanted to get one just so that I can maybe just go into training and have enough money to buy myself a laptop and da 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 da. You know, when you're not working, you always have this plan. You always have a plan for everything. When the money comes, yeah, it's a different situation, you find. So yeah, like I found myself asking myself, am I not being grateful enough? Am I not, am I, am I not able to have the level of staying power that other people have? Because you'll find that other people are unhappy in a position and yet they stay because of their circumstance or their situation. And why can't I be that person? You find. But I'm not that person. Like, I'm constantly in a mental battle of, I want to go back to school. I've always wanted to go back to school, and it's been 10 years now, and I've been wanting to go back to school for the past 10 years, but I've always been working because I've always been afraid of not working, not having to ask people to help me out with certain things. And like having had to be a mother at 16, for me, I've had to grow up really quickly. There's also people who had to do the same. I get that. But like I feel like, and also I also always say, I feel like the opportunities are there now. Like the platforms are there as opposed to what our parents didn't have. But we don't utilize them because of that fear. That fear is always somewhere there. Like, am I gonna be good enough? Are people gonna like what I have to say? Is anybody going to listen to what I have to say? Like, all of those small thoughts at the back of your head, those limiting beliefs. Because I remember when I started a channel, it's very small, started a channel, it's still very small actually. I was so scared because I thought, um, I don't have the most pleasant space. I don't have a lavish background to have that all done. I don't have the equipment. I don't have this. When I started doing my poetry, I've written for as long as I can remember. It's always been therapeutic. It's always been my way to cope. When I lost my dad, when I had a kid, when a lot of overwhelming shit started to happen in my life, when my life started going south, I've always turned to writing, and it's always been something that kept me going. But then I'd always ask myself, who's gonna listen to that? You find? Even if it's a 1% group of people, it's okay. Now I'm at a place where I feel like, no, man, I can't. My 29 and my mental state at 29 might be somebody else's 56. My 29 might be somebody else's 18. My 29 might be somebody else's 16. You find? Our levels of epiphanies, growth is not the same, you know? I just I just really hope that whoever gets to listen, if anybody at all, if I let anything, if I let anyone listen, I just hope this finds you when it needs to. Like, have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself. It's okay to start from nothing. It's okay to think differently than what others do. We weren't here to be the same. We weren't promised the same outcome. So find who you are, find what works for you, and believe in that. no matter what that looks like for anyone. I truly, 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 truly am preaching that to myself as well, because I'm on a constant journey of finding myself. I hope you're having a beautiful day, beautiful night, beautiful morning, and may things change for the better.